We know the world is full of defilement. We know it is full of corruption. We know that evil runs deep and it runs wide. We understand that. It is inescapable. And the question then is no longer, is there evil in the world? But the question is, where does it come from? What is the cause of evil? What is the point of origination of evil? Well, I don't really think that psychologists any longer are interested in trying to defend the fact that extraordinary evil is only done by some sort of extraordinary human beings who are outside the pale of normalcy. I think that's gone by the wayside. I think we're pretty well acquainted with the fact that seemingly normal people can do things that are horrendously evil. Seemingly normal people are engaged, if not in the purveying of evil, in being entertained by things that are vile and wretched. I think we now know that evil is pervasive through our society and that even ordinary people can do things that are extraordinarily corrupt. All of that came clear to a psychologist by the name of James Waller. In the year 2002, he published a psychological book. The title of it, Becoming Evil. Becoming Evil. The subtitle, How Ordinary People Commit Genocide and Mass Killing. The thesis of the book is that extraordinary evil can be done by what are apparently ordinary people. And that is correct. But that poses the question, what causes this? Why does it happen? Where does it come from? Following up on that book was a book written in the year 2007 by a social psychologist by the name of Philip Zimbardo. In that work, titled The Lucifer Effect, subtitle, Understanding How Good People Turn Evil, he concludes that this pervasive, far-reaching problem in our society is environmental. That is, what corrupts us is outside of us. We are all exposed to hostile and, I guess you could call them acidic situations we find ourselves in, and our proclivity for evil are ranging far from human goodness into extreme evil is the result of overexposure to things that are outside of us. Now, this is in direct conflict with the Bible. The Bible says our problem is not outside of us, our problem is inside of us. Jeremiah 17:9 says, the heart of man is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. That's the collective heart. Men are wicked. There's none righteous, no, not one. We are capable, without any outside influences, according to James 1:14, of conceiving lust in our hearts, turning it into sinful attitudes that become sinful acts, deadly sinful acts. Sin works its way from the inside out. That is a definitive Christian view of man. That is a biblical anthropology. That what defiles is on the inside, not the outside. Society doesn't want to admit that. You hear people being interviewed all the time in our society who say, well, the reason I did this, the reason I have this problem, the reason I have this antisocial or criminal behavior or bizarre behavior is because I was misunderstood as a child. I was molested as a child. I was denied privileges as a child. I was unloved as a child. I was bullied. That's the latest one. All of these kinds of external things have created this kind of behavior because I've lived in this toxic kind of environment. That is not what the Bible teaches. The problem is not outside of you. The problem is inside of you. Listen to the words of Mark, beginning in verse 14. Speaking of Jesus, he called the crowd to him again. He began saying to them, listen to me, all of you, and understand. There is nothing outside the man which can defile him, if it goes into him. But the things which proceed out of the man are what defile the man." When he had left the crowd and entered the house, his disciples questioned him about the parable. The parable being the words in verse 15. And he said to them, "Are you so lacking in understanding also? Do you not understand that whatever goes into the man from outside cannot defile him? Because it doesn't go into his heart, but into his stomach and is eliminated. And thus he declared all foods clean. And he was saying, that which proceeds out of the man, that is what defiles the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed the evil thoughts, fornications, thefts, murders, adulteries, deeds of coveting and wickedness, as well as deceit, sensuality, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these evil things proceed from within and defile the man."